Just give me some insight on what you think, how Baltimore is looking this year so far with Lamar. Lamar coming back, he got his contract, and they picking up a few new receivers, some pieces. OBJ been out for a few games, but you pick up a Zay. You pick up a Zay, man. Zay doing his thing in the slot, just a playmaker, period. And we already know what Andrews can do when it comes to that tight end position. But what's your thought on the Ravens' offense this year?
I love it so far, man. I think it went back to a little bit more of a spread style offense, which I think works in Lamar's favor. You can't just get a beat on him so much with all the read option stuff. And when you go read option, it's just like playing the option in college, where you have one guy signed for the back, one guy signed for the quarterback every single play, and you might put a spy on Lamar, so everywhere he goes, he get hit. But in that spread, he can drop back and throw it to anybody. He can hit his check downs, and then he can take off running at any moment. We've been banged up this year too, Ike. I don't know what's going on over there at the Ravens facility, man. But we just got Mark Andrews back healthy. I got him out there playing, and of course OBJ and Bateman both kind of beat up again. Right now. I mean, so we still kind of banged up. We was down with our best corner as well. My boy Mark. He been out for a while, so it's gonna be interesting, man, to kind of see how this game plays out. But I love the Ravens offense. I love what they're doing. And I don't think anybody's really taking into consideration that how most of these teams didn't play their starters the entire preseason. So these first 4 weeks been just like playing 4 preseason games for all the starters. None of our starters played preseason at all, so it's kind of good to kind of get some of that rust knocked off and get a chance to roll into Steelers week, basically the first game of the season, week 5. So it'll be interesting to see how this game plays out. You guys are always a physical battle, and I don't expect anything less from y'all for somebody to get knocked out on the first play of the game.
Daniel, when we talked with you the last time, Lamar Jackson hadn't got his contract extension ironed out with the Ravens yet. He has the Ravens off to a 3-1 start. Got some new weapons around him too, new offensive coordinator. What have you seen? I mean, it doesn't look like there's any buyer's remorse. I think the Ravens could easily be off to a 4-0 start, if not for no pass interference called in overtime of that Colts game. But what have you seen from Lamar since he's gotten the big extension?
I feel like it's just patience, man. Like even with Monken right now, I just feel like everything is just they're pacing themselves. I don't feel like they've opened up the playbook yet. I feel like they're treating these first 4 games like with baby steps. And I'm not saying they're trying to lose games intentionally, because they definitely lost the game last week that they could have won against the Colts. The week before last. But I'm not saying that they're not taking the training wheels off the offense, because Lamar has already been given the green light to change plays at the line of scrimmage, the whole 9 yards. He's got more freedom now than he's ever had as a quarterback in this league, underneath Monken, man. So I'm excited to kind of see what's going to happen as he develops. And you can tell Lamar is not trying to run at all right now. He's really not trying to use his legs. He's trying to sit in the pocket, throw the ball, find his receivers downfield, and feed those beasts that he has, because this is the best receiving core I think the Ravens have ever had, like, period. Like ever. And that's saying a lot, because I was a Raven receiver at one point myself, but I feel like this is as deep as they've ever been. You got Duvernay, you got Bateman, you got Zay Flowers, you got OBJ, you got Mark Andrews, you got Isaiah Likely behind Andrews. You got some dogs out there, man. It's more guys out there. Every time you turn, even Nelson Agholor, he's a dude too now. I mean, don't sleep. So this is probably the best receiving core I think I've ever seen Lamar have in his tenure being a Raven. And I feel like they let one get away from him with the Colts. But they're not gonna. They're coming prepared for this game. I can guarantee you.
How have the Steelers fared in slowing down Lamar Jackson? I don't think you can fully stop him, but what have the Steelers done to say we can at least slow him down compared to other teams in the league?
TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith. What I think Pittsburgh do a real good job of just keeping Lamar in the pocket. So it's not this week is not a sack crazy week. This week is, can Lamar throw interceptions? Let's keep him in the pocket kind of week, and that's how Pittsburgh been successful. What Pittsburgh has done is we force Lamar to pass. Let's stop the run. Let's force him to pass on third down situations. Let's keep him in the pocket. But it's going to be very interesting this year, because he definitely got a different offensive coordinator. And like D was saying, he got some weapons on the outside. This might be his best group of receivers that he's had. I ain't going to say group of receivers. This might be Lamar Jackson's best group this year. And when you got somebody like that, you can just see the maturity in Lamar. Even when he does run, he's conscious on, instead of getting hit, he's starting to slide a little bit. You know, only time he really gonna take it though, if he's close to that power line, which I should expect, where he might duck his head and try to get in the end zone. But other than that, outside the red zone, you can tell Lamar, man, he understands how valuable he is to the team. And every time he do step outside, he'll slide out of bounds and he'll slide on the field. So that's what I like about Lamar as far as like the maturity level. And he's just the best player on the team, but he's just the most complete, humble player on the team. And that's what makes Lamar so special in my mind. But Pittsburgh always just have his number. So far, man, they tell him stay in the pocket. You keep him in the pocket, we got action. But other than that, you let him get outside the pocket, Lamar's going to be Lamar, and that's what we don't want. Extending plays, making plays down the field, John Madden you on the field on Sunday. So that's what Pittsburgh, I think, just does better than most teams. They just know how to keep Lamar in the pocket.
It's them dogs, man. Pittsburgh got them dogs too now. You know, y'all have always had some stud linebackers and some great DBs, man. And your D-line ain't never been short of being awesome either, man. So when you got talent and you put together talent the way the Steelers, you know, front office do, man, and you got some guys out there that can freaking play ball. And, you know, I mean, I think I hit the nail on the head. Like Lamar's maturity has been, you know, second to none. And you can see it. It's evident, you know, the way he plays the game, and he's playing a little bit smarter. He's been hurt 2 years in a row, man, didn't finish the season. Mm-hmm. So you have to, and it's not like major injuries. You're talking about, you know, high ankle sprains and stuff like that, you know. So, you know, he has to protect himself and just take better care of himself. And you can just see it. I can guarantee you that emphasis is coming from Monken. You know, like, hey, man, we got to keep you on the field. Without you, we're not the same team. You know, and that's important. And he knows exactly how important it is for him to be out there. And he's just been really, really, really smart. You know, you've seen the decisions he's made all year long, and he's smart enough to like get down when he need to get down and get out of bounds when he need to get out of bounds. And when I notice when he run now, he's not so explosive right off the first three or four steps. Like, he's not trying to get out of there so fast. He's almost delayed. He's taking a couple hits behind the line of scrimmage, a couple sacks from behind, you know, because he's just not trying to burst out of there like full speed like he had been in the past. And he's giving guys a chance to kind of dive on the back of his legs right now. So I think he'll clean some of that up, and he'll continue to develop as this season goes on. And you'll see those same explosive plays that you've seen from him in the years past. You'll see them start to show up in week 6, week 7, week 8, and stuff like that. And Pittsburgh has always done a great job of containing quarterbacks, just like the Ravens have always done. And when you play against those high energy guys like Lamar, you know, you have to be conscious and corral them. And everybody just kind of got to stay in their lane. It's kind of like, if you really think about it, it's kind of like kickoff coverage. You know, you're assigned lanes on kickoff, and then when you go out of your lane, somebody has to fill that gap. You know, and that's how defense is played when you play against Lamar with Pittsburgh. They're just smart, man. They got guys hanging back in the right spots, and they'll come up and fill those holes like safeties.